Welcome back. I hope you're feeling awesome. As a part of the conceptual class, we understood what are the different functions which are used for adding, removing spaces, and also padding characters. We look at all those functions as a part of the hands-on. I have logged into my SQL. I am going to use a database called University. Within that, I'm going to create a table called student. The student table has 3 columns like roll number, name, city. I'm going to insert some data into that. Obviously, the data would have some spaces so that we can show you the variations. While inserting the data into this table, please pay attention. Please insert in the same way the way I am doing so that you can experience the different functions related to adding, removing spaces. So here you can see 234 mark, there is a space here, couple of spaces, and then Bangalore there is no space. Before the Steve there is a space, before Harry there is a space, before Amit there is a space, right? So let me go ahead and insert the data. Now let us see how the data looks like. Select star from student. Okay, this is how the data looks like. Because of the spaces, the values are looking this way. So now first and foremost function is length function. You can always use all these functions outside the table as well. So what I am doing here is I am trying to find the length of this particular string, which is an argument for length function, and assign that to a column called length. So the length of this particular string is 15. How is it 15? Let us count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So remember, this space is also counted as a length. That is the reason length of this particular string is 15. You can also use this function as a part of a table. If you see, the name column has different values. If I want to find the length of these values, we can go ahead and use length and provide the column name as an argument to length function. After executing this, we'll get 2 columns because we are selecting a name and then the length of the name. The length of the mark is 6. Even though you feel, oh, there are only 4 characters because there are 2 spaces, that is the reason the length has become 6 characters here. On the other hand, if you see strip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how can it be a 8? Because there are 3 empty spaces before strip. So length considers the spaces as well while counting the characters. Please bear that in mind. Now let us understand the trim. As I said, all the functions what I am executing here can be executed outside the table and we can execute with the table as well. So here I am saying select trim and I am providing a string between the spaces. There is a space here, there is a space here. What does trim do? It deletes the spaces on either side of the string. So you can see the space on the left side, space on the right side has been removed and there are no spaces in the result. Just to get a hang of how trim is working, first what we'll do is we'll try to find the length of a string before the trim and then find the length of a string after trimming. So before the trim, the length of the string is 19. Let us see what will be the length of this particular string after the trim. We can always combine the functions like this. For example, here I'm trimming. The trim will be executed first, then the result of that will be passed on to the length function. So after trim, the length of this particular string is going to be 15, right? You can mix and match the functions in the way I am doing it so that you can get a clarity and you'll be able to relate it well. You can also use the trim function on the columns in a student table. You can also use the trim function on the column names. So here, first I will try to get the length of the values in the name column and then trim it and try to find what is the length. As I already indicated, first I am trimming here. and passing on that result to the length function. So here with this, what I am doing is 4554. That way, the before the trim, the length of the mark was 6. Now it is 4 because it removed the spaces. This is how you can use the trim. Trim removes the spaces on either side of the string. How about left trim? Very simple. What left trim does is removes the spaces on the left side of the string. So in this case, if you see, we have a space on the left side. So if you say left, this one, there'll be the space on the left side is gone. Okay. So you can also do this on the column name. In this case, if you see, I am trying to do ltrim on the name. If you look at the data here, ltrim works fine. As we know, ltrim deletes the space on the left side. Do we have a space on the left side of mark? No. So it will be intact. How about Steve? Yes, there is a space. How about Harry? Yes, there is a space. How about Amit? Yes, there is a space. So when we do ltrim, all these strings where all the spaces on the left side of the strings would be trimmed and we'll get a result like this, right? This is how we'll get it. If you want to check the difference, you can always select both the columns. So this is the original column. This is the trimmed column, L trimmed column. That is left trimmed column. Okay. Then we have the R trim. What does R trim do? R trim would deletes the trailing spaces. Trailing spaces means the spaces on the right side. We can go ahead and execute this. If you see here, there is a space on either side of the string. If you say rtrim, then it will delete only the space on the right side. Let us do this on a name column. You can see only this is removed. I am just saying here rtrim. Okay. You see there is a space because this Steve, Harry and Amit, there are no spaces. But we can determine this whether the space is removed or not by getting a length before and after the trim. Okay. If I say length, this is the 6, 8, 10 and 15. Now after the R trim, the mark has become 4 because we have trimmed the space on the right side. But Steve, Harry, Amit remain same because they don't have a space on the right side. They have a space on the left side, that is on the leading space. But right trim deletes the trailing spaces, that is the spaces on the right side. Awesome. We understood the L trim, R trim. Sometimes there is a requirement to pad. Pad means to pad a specific character. Let us understand that. Okay. Let us say I want to add some of the characters. In this case, I want to add a hash on the left side of this particular string to make the overall length of the string as 12. So let us understand this again. Lpad is a function. This is a string. This is the number of character, the length of the character after padding, not before the padding. So once I execute this, if you see, the total length of this string would be 12. To make this particular string 12, we are padding hash. Let us count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So we can also use the LPAD on the column in a table. For example, here, if I select a data from, we have a name, right? If I want to pad something, for example, I want to pad LPAD. On the left side, I want to pad with the stars until the whole value becomes the 15 character string. So once I do that, you can see there is a left pad. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. These two are also considered here. Okay. Total, because we have mentioned 15, 15 should be the count of this particular string. That includes the spaces as well. Even though you look like there is nothing here, there is a space which is also counted as a one character. So we are able to pad on the left side. How would padding on the right side? We can do that as well. Very simple. Instead of using LPAD, I can go ahead and use RPAD. So rpad name 15 star. We are padding the stars on the right side of each string. So there are 2 spaces here. That is the reason those number of spaces are left. So this whole string is of a length of 15. Awesome, then we understood how to add spaces, how to remove spaces, and how to pad the values. Awesome. You please practice all these things. Thank you.